I just want to say to Mr. Chisholm that history is very strange, that none of us who is expounding history was there at the time when history is made. So we have to rely on writers. Now I am contending that depending on who is writing and who want to interpret what is written, they will validate their logics and understanding after that individual or that person or the people who's writing this history. So what I'm hearing is that Clinton has read what the Rastafari used to validate Rastafari, and has also read the things them to disclaim Rastafari. And as a Christian, he chooses to accept the things them that disclaim Rastafari. Now the Rastafari choose to use the things them that Rastafari is holding fast to. Now a lot of things that Chisholm just said is not true. Ethiopians for thousands of years have claimed these things. And you have people now who is in the disclaiming, which is Chisholm is part of it. Now, I wasn't there in history. I am going off of what is written. I choose, and Rastafari choose, to really deal with the Ethiopian version of history. And the Ethiopians is writing about their history. Now, I don't know who Clinton is reading to disclaim Ethiopian history, but obviously it is not Ethiopians that are disclaiming Ethiopian history. So if someone is saying that I choose to follow what the Ethiopians say in history, and Clinton is saying, no, I choose to oppose Rastafari based upon what people write about Ethiopian history, then wrong and right, we don't know how the wrong and right thing coming of it. But the first thing I want to really work with now is the idea where you read about Haile Selassie is not a black man or a Negro.
Yeah.
You know, the idea of black and Negro, well, Negro is still black, but the idea of black is really a political thing, jargon. Rastafari is not claiming black man and Negro, even though he's recognizing Africa as a black continent. What Rastafari is saying is that black people never have an African God and an African king to claim. And when Owil claimed Haile Selassie as black people king, he was responding to an event, not a situation, not an idea. He was saying that this man, Haile Selassie, that Marcus Garvey said that black people must worship God through Ethiopia, through their own spectacle, which we want to come to what him saying that is not Ethiopia physically the place we're talking about. But when Marcus Garvey tell us that where is the black man God, where is the black man king, where is the black man kingdom, in page 42 of the Philosophy and Opinions of Marcus Garvey, there is a topic there that Marcus Garvey talk about the image of God. And he clearly states that if the Jews want to worship God through the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, let him do it. If the Chinese want to do this thing, let them do it. But we, though late it might be, must worship God through Ethiopia, and that is what we choose to do. Now, when Leonard Owil in 1930 saw that this African, we're not talking about a political mindset now, we're talking about black and Negro. This African was crowned in 1930. Leonard Owil says, this is the redeemer for black people. This is the person who's going to redeem black people out of the thing. And we must now see that black people have a king that is African, and it's not the king of England, which is a European. So the idea that Haile Selassie is not a black man now is really a problematic situation. Because what I think Clinton is alluding to is that Haile Selassie is of a mixed breed.
Semitic.
Yes. No. We have to really work with that. We have to work out that understanding of the black man. I really want to ask Clinton, if the people of America decide, say, they're going to declare Obama God or Christ, would you say that Obama is not a black man because he have a white mother? Because it is the person who is defining their existence and not the person who is looking on. And if Haile Selassie declare himself as a black man,
he has not.
Yeah, but I can tell you that I have read speeches where Haile is talking about We as Africans.
Yes, Africans, yeah.
Yeah, but Africans are not Semitic.
But Selassie claims to be Semitic.
No, yeah, but that is the greatness about the situation now. He's claiming Semitic lineage, and he's claiming the African lineage because his mother, according to the thing that you just put down a while ago, according to the history of the Ethiopians, this queen mixed with this Semitic person. So he's claiming now the Semitic lineage and the African lineage, meaning that when he says that he's an African and we Africans will fight if it is necessary, he's not talking about the Semitic, he's talking about the black people in Africa. So we must not declare now, say, because Haile Selassie's great-great-grandparents, which is used fighting against, I don't know, or you're going to fight against the history of the thing and then still say that Haile Selassie is Semitic. Because I'm not saying that Haile Selassie don't have Semitic in him. I am saying that Haile Selassie is claiming Semitic, and Haile Selassie is also claiming his black heritage based upon his mother and based upon his father, I mean his grandfather. He's claiming this two things, just like how we stand up and hear Obama say his mother was white and his father was black, and he's claiming being an African American. He is black. Obama is a black man. Whether he has white in him or not, he is defining himself. Not you, not me. Haile Selassie is a black man based upon that his parents.
Did he so define himself?
He defines himself as a black man.
Where?
Never.
Where what? You have otherwise?
Yes,
I want to settle
it. It's in the Constitution. He's
Semitic. It's in the Constitution. He says
it's Semitic line, yeah. It's in the Constitution. He's Semitic.
It's in the Constitution. He says it's
Semitic line, yeah.
He has never claimed to be a black man.
Never claimed to be black. He's an African that's uncontested.
Like Bota was African.
But tell me something now. African. It is more important in the realms of what Rastafari is saying to an African are talking about Semitic. Which one is more important to the Rasta man?
African, I would think.
Yes, all right. Then is Haile Selassie an African?
He was an African.
Then what you talking about?
No, your white people were
just said that.
Which white people is African?
No, you said.
No, which white people is African?
A white person cannot.
No, tell me which white person is African? Which white person is African?
A person born on the landmass of Africa.
It's not African. It's African. No. Which white person born on the landmass of Africa?
It's a white person. A white man who is born in Africa.
Where? Tell me where. Where is born? You have to tell me the place where born in Africa for him to be
no matter when born.
No. If a cow born in a pig pen, it's not a pig.
Motel is the Chinese. No matter where the Chinese born, it's the Chinese.
Which white man born in Africa is an African?
All right.
Tell me. Any white man born in Africa.
No, but that is not true.
Anyway, leave it.
Maybe he's an South African, but he's not an African.
All right.
If a white man born in Ghana, maybe he can be a Ghanaian. So by nationality, but he's not an African.
Back to Selassie.
Wait, man, don't stop me, man.
No,
African. No, but we're trying to answer the question because we can write a whole book about it.
But we want to see where he defines himself as a black man. Has he ever defined himself as a black man?
Yes.
Where?
And we're not talking about what him define himself. No, we're talking about being African. And if a white man is African,
Rastas don't just emphasize the African part. They emphasize the blackness.
But I am telling you now that blackness is a political thing that he's using now against Rasta. Blackness is a thing that he's using against Rasta, and Rasta is talking about Africa. When Marcus Garvey talk about black, what him talking about? When Marcus Garvey talking about black, what him talking about? A white man born in Africa?
No.
He's talking about Africans. Right. So we are justificating the word African with black. That's what we're doing now, and we are saying that you are an African, you're a black man.
Muta.
Yes.
I am older than you, I think. I grew up with the oldest Rastas in Montego Bay. And in the old days, ask any old Rasta, when Rastas talk about black man religion, they might talk about black.
Did you live Rastafari? Did you live it?
I didn't live the lifestyle.
All right, so I am the person who live it now. So when you live
you're younger man, you're younger man with the Rasta.
So what that
didn't want to the ancient man.
You didn't want to the ancient man. Wise and prudent reveal to the babe and suckling. So if I am a babe to you, I am revealing something to you now. I am saying to you, an African, Haile Selassie is an African, and Haile Selassie is a black man. Now, whether you hear Haile Selassie say it or not, I am telling you that I have read Haile Selassie talking about the black people of Africa, including himself.
All right, no, Muta, I'm saying to you, just make one simple point. That the ancient dreads in Montego Bay, certain where I grew up, when they're talking about black, they're talking about Negro.
But I am telling you, I am telling you that when we say black, we are talking about Africans.
Today.
No, yesterday. Yesterday.
In the 1950s?
When the 50s.
The 1950s
Listen to me. When the Montego Bay Rasta them say black people, them talking about Africans.
In 1950s?
Yes. Yes.
No, Muta, you're wrong.
Who them talking about when them say black people?
Negroes.
Who's Negroes? You ever hear Rasta talk about Negro?
No, yeah, me hear Rasta talk about Negro. Yeah.
No, man. Rasta not talk about Negro. Rasta say black man.
The black man, but that they mean Negro.
No.
They're not talking about Africa.
No. Wait there.
So you accept the Semitic?
No, wait there. He is saying when black people say Negro, it mean black. When Rasta say black people, it mean African. It don't mean Negro.
So Clinton,
because to Rasta, Negro is a derogative term.
Yeah, true. Clinton, you have historical reference where Selassie projected himself more as a Semitic. Yeah, he defined himself in those terms.
In other words, after the Zagwe dynasty was overthrown by Yekuna Amlak, the Zagwe dynasty was a group of Negroes. On the African...
You keep saying Negroes. Negroes is a derogative that nigga.
Black man.
I'm not, you know, I'm not using it.
But it is whether you use it or not, it's a if I say nigga in anywhere in New York.
On a side part.
All right. No, Negro is a derogative
I don't use it. Black man.
Rasta
We will always
man.
Black man.
Black man is an African. No part of it. Don't try to.
No, hold on, no.
Rasta is saying black man is African.
Yeah. I'm making a point.
Peter said, no matter where you come from, as long as you're a black man, you're an African. So what Rasta is saying, that if you're a black man, you're an African. There's no term in Rasta that declare Negro. I never in my life hear Rasta talk about Negro. You are using the word
the
Negro.
Zagwe dynasty, which ruled on the throne of Ethiopia before Yekuna Amlak in the 17th century, the 14th century rather, was a group of non-Semites.
Okay.
They were Negroes, they were blacks. They were blacks, all right?
Were they Africans?
They were Africans,
yes.
They grew up in that era.
Okay.
No, they were overthrown by Yekuna Amlak. And the Semitic line and the Solomonic dynasty, so-called, came about through Yekuna Amlak. No, Tades Tamrat, an Ethiopian himself, an Ethiopian historian, he rejects the idea that there was a genuine Solomonic dynasty in Ethiopia. He says it was because Ethiopia was beleaguered by the Muslims around them, cut off from the Christian nations to which it really belonged. Because
so who's the Falashas?
Because Ethiopia was a Christian empire. Then they identified with the beleaguered Israelites in the Old Testament, and so talk about a Solomonic dynasty.
Who is the Beta Israelites?
So that's
who are the Beta Israelites? That the
was a myth that came out. The myth came out,
and it says,
but it was political realities.
So on the throne of Ethiopia, in the Kebanagas, only a Semite must rule. No non-Semite and no woman.
That is not true. Zardito
was a contradiction in terms.
So you have an exception then?
She's an exception, yeah.
Okay, all right. So that is clear then. There was a woman who was ruling Ethiopia.
Just before Selassie,
the dynasty of the Kadans,
Candace.
it wasn't an individual queen. It was a dynasty of queens.
Yeah, all of the queens in the Emirate.
It was ruled, yes. So that means a woman was ruling Ethiopia too.
In Sudan, not Ethiopia.
No, Ethiopia.
No, not Ethiopia. The first woman on the throne was Zaudito.
No, the first woman on the throne was Makeda.
Well, if you see Makeda as being on the throne of Ethiopia,
then she was the queen of Ethiopia.
No,
where she was?
She was in Arabia.
Where?
South Arabia.
Where? Yemen. Listen to me. Yemen was part of the kingdom of Ethiopia in that time.
What period of time?
Yemen.
What period of time?
What period of which time? When Makeda. No, look here.
Makeda is 10th century BC.
No, listen to me. Makeda was the queen of Seba. If you declare that Seba is in
South Arabia,
it's in Yemen. It's in Yemen. You don't agree with me?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's South Arabia.
Yeah, and I am saying to you now that the kingdom of Ethiopia, are you familiar with Nubia?
Yeah.
Where was Nubia?
Nubia was bordering Kush.
Where is Kush?
Kush is modern Sudan.
And where is Ethiopia?
Ethiopia is different from
what was that land now that is now called Ethiopia? What was it called before? You said that it is not Ethiopia. The land now that they call Ethiopia. What was
Abyssinia.
it called? When?
It was called Abyssinia before it became Ethiopia.
When? No.
In BC times.
No, listen to me. I'm talking about the time when you say Kush is Sudan in the Old Testament. The Bible tells you that one of the rivers that flow out of the land of and the river is Gishon, which encompasses the whole land of Kush.
It's Black History Month.
You need
we are Black History Month and religious